Hey everybody, Aaron here, and this is something I haven't done in a while. Another video game impression. It's been a while that I've actually had the time to do one of these, and also, it's been a while since anything JRPG really has come out in the stateside. I want to say that I can actually play without needing translations. A lot of stuff that's been coming out recently has not hit the West yet. I think a lot of it's coming out in February. I'll tell you guys right now, February, March, and April are going to be big months for people who are diehard. I want to say video game fans of JRPGs and stuff like that because there's a lot coming out. And trust me, just go on GameStop and you'll find like I think a good dozen coming out. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, right? So today we're going to be talking about The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel. I don't know if I said that already or not. I'm going to presume I didn't say it. Anyways, so let's get started with this video game impressions. So, Trails of Cold Steel actually takes place in the same world as The Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky, which is I don't want to say a prequel to it, but it's more so it's one of those like spin-off, side story type things. But in its own, I'll tell you that right now, this is way better than that one is. Now, if you guys don't know what any of these games are, don't feel too bad. This is from a small niche group called Falcom, who they do a lot of stuff, but primarily are known for their E series, or YS as it's spelled out, where that has been very popular. It's been popular since like the old consoles way back when, but it's always been a very kind of cult classic following type game because it just does not have that huge impact that a lot of other JRPGs like Final Fantasy or Fire Emblem might have in the states. Now that's a shame because Falcom makes some great quality games. I mean, their art style is very unique, their storytelling and the way they actually go about creating this lore for the backgrounds and characters is always phenomenal to me. I mean, if you play any of the East games or YS again, those games have some of the best dialogue I think in any JRPG, in the sense that you feel like you're reading a story, and that's really something that's very unique. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of JRPGs that have very good storytelling. I'm not saying that, but is always takes it they always, Falcom in general takes it a step further by always making sure that everything has like backstory, like characters have lore, characters have backgrounds. There's different groups, there's different organizations that exist that even if they're not hugely popular in the story wise, they're still explained to this way, kind of give emphasis that this world is bigger than what it's showing off as. Now, Trails of Cold Steel is actually almost reminiscent to an anime to me. The way it plays out and the way the storytelling is, it's very close to it. You have our main character who, by the way, is very far back, and I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see. I don't know why I'm doing that. In the very far back, behind the girl with the blue hair, is Reen. He's our main character, Reen, like almost like Shuffle. The way they say it reminds me of Shuffle so much, but it's Rean, not Rin. Reen is a student of this new academy. Well, it's not a new academy, but it's a new class per se of this academy. That's a military academy, where Class 7 was never existed until now. Where instead of splitting the classes into nobility and commoners, which is something that the school does, it has a mismatch of everyone. You have commoners, you have people of noble blood, you have people of mixed commoner and noble blood that all exist in this world. For example, the guy with the green hair near the guy with the blonde hair is a noble, but he hates usual nobles because they think they're better than everyone else. And even though he's per se a noble, he's still a commoner because his position was kind of given to him as a noble. Like his father gained the prestige of being a noble class, but he's still a commoner. And you have other girls like the Alicia who doesn't want to say what she is really, but you kind of can figure out already she's got some huge heritage. It's a mismatch of things that are anime tropes though, because Machias, the guy with the green hair, again is someone that's very quick to get angered and ill-mannered towards people that are noble, so he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. You have Alicia, who's the typical girl who gets pissed off at the main character because in the very first like 20 minutes of the game, he ends up in a specific spot that might be above the waist, and it makes her get very mad at him, thinking he's like a pervert. Anime trope. But yeah, this game tries to be anime. I mean, look at the animation, the stylings. This is when you unleash their special attacks, where you see the silhouettes. I mean, that screams anime. This game was trying to go for the anime feel, and that is not a bad thing at all. So Trails of Cold Steel is your typical JRPG. You run around free roam in towns. Now, I almost want to say that even though this game is free run, like you can go everywhere in the world per se, it is almost linear too at the same time. You are in small spaces. Like a lot of times in the game, you'll be sent to a different town or a different city or a different part of the map, and you will only be able to run around in that particular area. You won't be able to go from one place to another very easily. It's more so like it's transition per chapter. So, for example, right now you have Reen running around through the starter town, and it's not like you're gonna be in the starter town forever. You're gonna move to other cities too, but when you're in those cities, you can't move back and forth to the main town to the other towns. You're stuck in that chapter specific town. So almost think of like dungeons, but free roam dungeons. Now, combat takes place in your typical JRPG format. Even though this is Japanese, I'll explain because I'm playing the game. I'm several hours into it. I know what they are. You have the attack, you have craft, you have arts, movement, items, and special attacks. Now, regular attacks are pretty, basic. You attack people with the sword or gun, whatever weapon your character is using. You have crafts. Now, crafts are character-specific moves. Like, for example, Reen can unleash a long-running attack with his sword. Or you have the girl with Alicia, who she could heal people with arrows, like raining down arrows on everyone, or shoot fire arrows at enemies, for example. Arts are the thing that every kind of Trails game or every Legend of Heroes type game has, where you can actually imbue your character with specific types of magical elements, like quartz. They're called quartz, actually, where there's fire, water, earth, time, etc., etc. And you can actually pull off attacks that use those elements. Like time creates like these weird disc objects that appear everywhere. Earth makes like either lances appear out of the ground or rocks and stuff like that. It does look pretty cool. I think that one of the biggest weaknesses of this game so far is that it's showing its age, because this game clearly was meant to be a handheld, but they pumped it up to become a PS3 title. At times it looks good. At times it looks really blah. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't look bad per se. I just don't want to say it looks anywhere near the word good. Sorry about that. I had to take a sip of water. Oh, excuse me. Now, combat goes from everything in your typical, fare again. It's you're gonna be going around. You're gonna be boosting your character. I said boofing. Boofing is not a word. Boosting your characters. You're gonna be, giving them things. You move around on the actual field. Like your character might be turn based, but you can actually position characters where they're gonna be a representative. So if you want a character to take damage for someone else, you can put them in front of them. If you want them to walk around a certain area, you can do that too. There's a lot of options here, and I really like the kind of feel that these games have. I mean, bosses are probably one of the hardest things about any of the Trails games, where the bosses will take you either A, level grinding, or B, some really tactical movements on your character's part. You're going to have to figure out where to move characters and where to align them to make sure they don't get hit by everything in sight. Now, again, let's go back to the animation being the weakest part of this game. I mean, right here you see everyone up close and, with the actual, like a regular, not cutscene, but I want to say like the game break where they talk about, like they were talking and stuff like that. It doesn't look bad. You can see it right there. It doesn't look that bad, but it does look like it's aged. It's showing that it was meant for a PS Vita or a PSP. You can see that. And that's an unfortunate thing, but it's not a bad thing either. This game is still a lot of fun, and it's still enjoyable in many ways. Now, again, guys, Trail of Cold Steel is not it's not the best, I think, I want to say, JRPG out there. It really is not. But I think that if you want a game with a lot of story, a lot of cliched but interesting characters, and just a kind of nice combat style, because I love the combat in this game. It reminds me of other Trails games, but it kind of reminds me of a lot of the typical tactical RPG type games, like where you actually move around the thing. I can't name anything off my head for today for the life of me. I don't know why, but it is a lot of fun in that sense. And I don't want to give it too much. Like, I've heard some people compare this to like Persona type games, because you have the free time elements that you could strengthen your bonds with characters and stuff. I'm not comparing it to that at all. It's not even close to being like that. You do have free roam elements, like where you can go to characters and increase their bonds, but the game has set parameters that it's going to do. Like, romances are going to be set in stone. There's not going to be, you can choose which girl to be with at the end. No, it's going to happen. The certain characters are going to get with one another. That's unavoidable. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll do more of these in February, because that's when more of the game's coming out. Or if anything comes out that I forgot about, you can, put in the comments below, hey, you forgot to mention this, and I'll mention it. Anyways, guys, later. Have a good day, everyone.